Nnamdi Felix Unachukwu is an entrepreneur with over 22 years of experience in various sectors like telecoms, agriculture, real estate, and oil and gas downstream. He obtained a bachelor's in engineering in electronics engineering from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, OMP from the Lagos Business School, MBA from the University of South Wales, UK, and a doctorate in business administration in VIEW from UCAM University, Spain. Engineer Nnamdi Unachukwu is a business coach, public speaker, founder of DAX Group, senior fellow of the African Business School, and a pastor in Watchman Catholic Charismatic Renewal Movement, Nigeria. He is a senior consultant with Avros Consult Limited. He is married with kids and he lives in Lagos, Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Engineer Nnamdi Felix Unachukwu.
Praise the Lord. First of all, I appreciate my father in the Lord here and my mommy here for that charge, the blessing, and also the organizers of Arise, the team, and today the advisory board. I appreciate you. Also, I appreciate you immensely for inviting me. If I look at the slide, I found out that everything I thought of saying is already said by our senior pastor in Lagos. And the only thing I will do here is to kind of bring together that idea and share it in a way that you also appreciate. I must thank Eze Chimere. I didn't know he has gone this far. No. I appreciate. I've always known him to be a very intelligent young man when I work with him for some time. And I'm not surprised that you are here today, so I appreciate it. Okay, talk on grooming the young adults as 21st century leaders. Now, there are points I picked from the last speaker, because I found out that some people just look, they don't take notes. You can't come for a program like this without taking notes. What makes you a good student is ability to take salient points. Even if you think you know it, you need to know it, and you need to learn, and you need to hear it again and again, so it will now sink and that kind of establish in your heart. When he was talking about scaling, how to scale, he mentioned vision, he mentioned leadership. Mention strategy, action, fun. And I love it when he mentioned leadership, because everything starts and ends with leadership. Why Nigeria is in a quagmire today is because of leadership. Nigerians on their own voted change. And that change came in a package that we did not expect. And that's all about leadership. So anywhere you get it wrong in leadership, there will be a problem. So today, I will talk on leadership. I will talk on leadership. So I'm beginning to see the slide. Are you seeing the slide? Grooming the young adults as 21st century leaders. Let me go ahead to define the keywords, because I did not develop this topic. It was given to me. So the keywords there, if you look very closely, see the word, grooming. Grooming, according to dictionary, I couldn't quote the dictionary here, it's a thing that one does to make his or her appearance clean, neat, cleaner, neater, getting ready. You want to get into leadership, you need to get ready. Another point mentioned there is 21st century. 21st century leaders. Wow. Can you move the slide, please? So they go with me. 21st century leaders. The current century that we're experiencing is called the 21st century. It started since 2001, January 1, 2001, and is going to end 31st of December 2100. That's going to be 100 years. And we have found ourselves already in that century. And some of you here are the Gen Zs, Gen Y, the Generation Z, Generation Y, who were born within this, within the space, within the century, or in the century. The world has witnessed unprecedented events within this time. But first of all, let me grade it up in a way that you will appreciate. When we talk about the 21st century, you talk about what is called the IR 5.0, Industrial Revolution 5.0. And that's where we are today. Now, let me take you back. Let me take you back to days of Abraham. Those days of, we call it the Revolution 0.0. The agrarian revolution, when man and animal were working together to make ends meet. Man used animal, if you're a good Bible student, you hear about yoking of animals to do farming and all kinds of things. That was the era of the Bible days. That era witnessed a revolution sometime in the 1760s when the Industrial Revolution 1.0 came on board, mechanization. Give it to someone like Thomas Savery and Thomas Newcomen. In 1712, thereabout, they designed what you have today as the engine, combustion engine. Someone like Henry Ford took it, extended it to develop what you have today as Ford Motors. Now, what happened then was that there was a revolution that moves people from just working with animals and shifted burden from animal and human. And now, you now have a revolution in the industry, transportation industry, production industry, and all kinds of industry. The steam power, you stop working on horse, you start moving vehicle, transportation, and people started moving around. Now, fast forward, 19th century, we had what is called the Revolution 2.0. That is, when you have the urbanization, people started migrating, electricity came, telephone came, discovery of light bulbs. Now, let's jump to IR 3.0, talking about the days of semiconductors, when you had something like mainframe computers and automation. Things were automated, industries were automated. Now you get to the 4.0 Industrial Revolution. I'm sure some of you are aware of that. Started sometime in the 90s, and that's when you have the digital transformation. Digital transformation is what we're witnessing today. Some part of the world are still witnessing the 4.0 IR, but others have moved forward. So we witness things, within the physical, biological, medical, digital front. There was a lot of transformation, and people now became accessible. There was a lot of accessibility. There was a lot of availability, connectivity, and a lot of things happened because that was the era of IoT, the Internet of Things. That was the era of big data, the era of artificial intelligence, and that's what we're witnessing today. And the world has so transformed digitally that we are moving in a great speed that you can't understand. And the 21st century has been marked with such, the IoT. When I mention some of these acronyms, please think fast because my time is ticking, so I won't be explaining all those things. Now, things like ML, machine learning. Let me give you an illustration of how you understand what I mean here. When I talk about machine learning, IoT, and the rest of them, you use Facebook. You discover that anytime you go to search anything on Facebook, subsequently such things will be popping up. Am I right? What has happened is just an algorithm using machine learning and big data to know what you always want, whether you're a mother who come to, maybe a shop or look for mother care, whether you're a young man with certain demography. So they use machine learning to describe us, demographies, psychographies, all kinds of things, the way we reason, the way we think. So now that is 21st century that we have moved on. And now we are now in the IR 5.0, which is the Industrial Revolution 5.0. This is the era of robots. You have robots operating in so many places. In fact, these days they now call it cobots because it's now collaborative robots. Now, it's a handshake between robots and humans. If sometime in 2007, I was somewhere in LA, Los Angeles. So I came into an airport. I was so confused because I didn't find anybody. And it was self-checking, 2007. Whew. I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. I approached computer. Despite my exposure, I was so rattled by, I say, this is where these people are. Today, Nigeria has not implemented that. What self-checking, you come in there, do all your self-checking, though you do on the internet today. But, some of those things are things that we are going to witness and are moving in a very fast speed. So it's going to get to a point that you don't come into a company like my brother Eze is talking about HRD, Human Resource Department. No, today you have robots and humans working together. You have it as it will now be WRD, Workers Resource Department. So it's going to be very interesting, and it's moving very fast. Why? Cities are becoming smart. The world is becoming greener. So very soon, some countries like Sweden are going to phase out everything fossil. So there won't be combustion because they want this cleaner. So it's going to be, everything is running so fast, all about innovation. So the society technology ecosystem has so changed. Even in education, it has so changed. I just came back from somewhere in Africa where I went for e-learning conference just in Kigali. What I was seeing there is, something we have not started imagining. A lot is going to happen. The way, religious gathering, all this kind of gathering is going to change. How many of you have heard about metaverse? And, you have meta, you have verse from universe. So it's going to get to a point where the world will go on 3D. You need to think fast. You need to wake up. When these days you watch it on movie, it is going to come. I remember when I was young, we watched movie 007 by James Bond. And James Bond will be talking on his phone. We laugh, this is not this. Today, the phone I'm wearing is smartwatch. I talk on it. How many years after? From 1988 to whatever, it has happened. So, what I like watching, I go to movies, I watch, science fictions. Because you need to think ahead. What is coming? What is coming is going to hit us. So, who are you in this generation? You want to be a leader. So, remember, my topic is raising or grooming the young adults and the leaders in the 21st century. So, I just use that to arouse you a bit about what we're anticipating or what we're envisaging to come and hit us very soon. Praise the Lord. So what is leadership? Let me go and talk about leadership now. Leadership is not just about to hold a position. No. It's not about rank or authority. Leadership is not about rank or authority. Leadership is about influence, said by John Maxwell. It's not about taking responsibility. It is not about taking responsibility and making people work in a particular direction. Okay, it is about, it's not about. I was wondering if it is a typo error here. So, anytime you can influence people, like someone met me outside just now and said, hey, I've been watching you, I've been following you right from when I was in the youth class. That is leadership. Leadership, he was learning by observation without me even knowing. Someone is mentoring you without you knowing that you are mentoring someone. So the world is, is waiting for us to manifest, to come to that. So it's not defined by the number of servants. Rather, it is defined about the number of people you have served. If you read the book of Luke chapter 2, 22, 26 to 27, you will see Jesus telling his apostles, please stop, debating and arguing who will be the leader, who will be the leader. Think of being a servant leader, someone who is serving others. Okay, now, there is this young man that called Simon Sinek, who defined leadership. He said, be the leader you wish you had. If you want, that thing you want in leaders, be that person. So how does it start? I will discuss 7 points. Decision to learn. To be a leader, what you are doing today is part of it. You are getting yourself to leadership because you want to learn. He who has never learned to obey cannot be a good commander. This is Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers of those days. He said, if you want, he was talking to military men, if you don't obey, don't expect to command. So you start by learning. Get a mentor for yourself. There are all kinds of mentors, spiritual mentor, leadership mentor, career mentor. Stick to it. Once you made a good choice, you're sure you're in the right place. Stick to that, your mentor. People dance around, jump from one church to the other. For me, I've said to people, I've never for one day considered living watchman. I remember when we used to come to this place, Sojio Shodi. Oh my God, brethren, you can't believe you are walking on ties. We got into this place when it was muddy, and they used plywood to hit it around. And if you look around then, you couldn't wait for today. You would have just jumped the gun. But today, things are unfolding and are moving. So I want to encourage you, a watchman, remain a watchman. I've never thought of living watchman because watchman has done me so well. Now, before you were a leader, success is all about growing yourself. You first of all need to grow yourself by learning. Much learning. You need to learn. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. This is Jack Welch. Jack Welch was the general manager at General Electric, GE, and he did so well. And this is what he said. You need to prepare for it. Leadership, you need to prepare for it. Then when there is adequate preparation and it meets opportunity, what happens? Then success will happen. Now look at this man. I have his picture there. I'm sure some of you will identify him. Before January this year, I'm sure most people can't recognize him. Talking about Vladimir Zelensky. He was just in the movie industry, acting. He was just a comedian. But at a point, he took it upon himself, a youth, he's still within your age bracket, he took it upon himself to go vie for leadership position because he had trained himself to be. And today, the world is celebrating him because of his quality leadership. He was always there. Just yesterday, I was pointing to my wife and said, look at, the European leaders came to meet him. All of them were on suit, but he was still on his what? Military camouflage. Identifying with soldiers who are in the war front, putting their life on the line just to what? To secure their nation. For what? Just to fight for their freedom. So that's the kind of leader. And you could see a child looking with rapt attention to learn. When you get to people where you will learn, open your heart. Don't jump. That time is coming. Learn first. When you learn, you will come to that place of leadership. So best leaders are students of leadership. You don't say, oh, I'm not a leader. You stop learning. When you stop learning, you start dying. And that's what I've told myself. I can't stop learning. One time I was going for French classes, and people were saying, why? Because I met a lady at the airport from Algeria, and I couldn't help her when she was crying. I couldn't speak French. I could speak only English. I said, when I go to Nigeria, the first thing I do is to register for French classes. And I went for that classes. I would travel all the way to Ikoyi to register at Alliance Française. But I thought that was not, good enough. What am I using it for? But I'm a traveler. I found out today I can use it. The other day I was in Kinshasa. I was able to read the signboard. And with my children, I started teaching them French. When they bring French assignment, I was teaching them. I said to myself, oh, see this, nothing is, as a leader, don't stop learning. Don't stop at anything. Don't stop at anything. Sometimes my children came to my room when I was rushing for, a deadline assignment. And some of them asked, Daddy, we have a question for you. You've been sitting here since morning, and this is 4 p.m. and you've not gotten up from your seat. What do you use all this certificate for? I said, I don't need a job. I've already created a job. I'm an employer for myself. So why do you need it for? I said, well, I need it for my leadership. I'm not doing it so that anybody will clap for me. I need to know what I don't know. Continue to what? Be inquisitive. Go for learning. Go for more learning. Go for more learning. Go for more learning. And that's what I told my children. So if I start a doctorate, that you people, I want you to be professors. And they were laughing. And that's it. You need to what? Get behind, above your fathers, above your mentors. Because a child should be bigger than his father. Now, when you have good parents, they're always product of good parenting. But should we dwell there? No. Today's parenting is what? Digital. You must learn how to what? Manage them. So if I go the way my mother trained me, and I say that's the way I will train my children, I will miss it. So it will require more learning, exposing myself, sitting down to watch their cartoon with them, ask them questions, think the way they think. Now, he said, join the movement and practice leadership. Study and learn about it. There are people you aspire to be like, do well to meet them for mentorship. So I was so glad that they allowed what is called the networking, meeting people to mentor you, get their numbers, send them, observe them. The leader, someone that has been mentoring me without knowing, he mentored me for more than 12 years before I called him one day. One of those richest men in Nigeria. I called him, he didn't pick. So I sent him a WhatsApp. After 1 month, he called me one day. I said, hey, young man, you've been calling me. I said, yes, sir. Who are you? I mentioned my name. He said, I'm going to talk to you for 60 minutes. I said, sir, I'm ready. I left everything. I went into my room. I picked my pen. He was going to talk to me for 60 minutes. And since then, my life has not remained the same. So you look for people who will mentor you. Best way to learn is by observation, to tap the tacit knowledge. People have got all kinds of knowledge. Some of them are tacit. They have it, but they don't know how to translate it. But you just grab it by observation. How they hold the microphone, an observation. All kinds of, by observation. Now, listen, ask powerful questions. Allow feedbacks. Think about yourself. Some people don't ask for feedbacks. I go home and ask my wife, how have I fared? I don't know if she's already, because she's going to tell me how I delivered this paper, so I can do better next time. Now, let's talk about confidence. If you look at there, you will see people who are trying to dare. Look at that boy who wants to fly, wants to jump like a Batman. And look at that person engaging, something that is tasking. Confidence. Everybody has got their uniqueness. You can't be like me. You can only be close to what I do, but from there you get your own unique strength and then work on it. Be confident, discuss it, because that is who you want. Believe in yourself. Be strong, courageous. God told Joshua when Joshua felt, oh, Moses is gone, what am I going to do? God said to him, you have to move. You have to lead these people. Hey, do you know what Moses suffered because of these people? He has just, gone. Say, no, you are the one. Moses is gone. At Mount Pisgah, he's no more. So you are what? Going to be courageous and be very strong. So you have to come to a place of leadership. Make up your mind. This is who I am. This is what I've become. Develop it. Keep developing it. Be confident about it. Dream big and dare. Be courageous enough to be honest and open-minded. This thing will attract you a lot at the end of the day. Courage, open-mindedness, honesty. Be courageous enough to be honest at every given time. Even when it looks as if when you say the honest thing, when you say the truth, they are going to lynch you. Say the truth. And at the end of the day, you will tap from it. Okay, let me go learn from Eagle. Learning from Eagle. Wow. Eagle is a high flyer. You see, this thing I'm about to share with you, I look at it every time. Anytime anybody is talking about eagle, I pay a lot of attention because I want to know something about that bird. I've had opportunity to see eagle physically once in United Arab Emirates. Well, I was looking at it. You think the eagle, the way you see in the picture, is so massive of a bird. If our eagle is sitting here, it's so massive. It flies so high. Why? It doesn't meddle with small birds who cannot try, high altitude. So because it's a high flyer, it selects people that move with it. And you must have to fly high. Think of flying high. That's a lesson from an eagle. Vision. Eagle does 5 kilometers. If you know what 5 kilometers, from the height, eagle knows when a snake is moving around, has trail or fish. It just come up the surface of the water to take some oxygen. The eagle will from there take off. And when it take off, that vision will remain focused on that, the target, the prey, until it grabs the prey. And with terrible speed. So you must learn how to have a vision and also remain focused. That is being yourself. Fearlessness, the eagle faces all problem head on. Head on at every given time. So don't say because you try and failed in this, then you are afraid that you might not make it. Please, continue to God, continue to there. Are you still seeing my screen? Okay. Let's move because I'm running on a terrible speed here. Eagle is tenacious. What do you mean that tenacious is that certain things will mold you. What brought me as a pastor, my pastor is here, so you confirm what I'm saying. When things, rough time, things were so tough, and I felt I was going to die, I had considered suicide twice in my life. But God, did not approve all those times. I begged him. Part of those things God did not allow me was, kill me, I want to die now. I am frustrated, I'm tired of life. I need to go. So when you see us dressed this way, don't think that there are days that you don't have money in your pocket. Thank God, God passed me through that major, so I will know. So one time, through that struggle, they now say, oh, you are appointed to hold brief for your pastor who just left for Ghana. I said, with all this whole mess, with over 6 court cases on my head, how can I deal with this? When I went to my daddy said, you can do it. You are going to train yourself to becoming what God has destined you to be. So, eagle glides when there is storm. In that stormy weather, eagle will stop flapping and will allow the storm to what? Keep throwing it up. So, whatever thing you are passing through, don't throw in the towel. Let's talk about eagle here. What does eagle? Eagle never eat dead meat. Don't rely on the past. Not only that, don't go back to sin. Don't go back to sin. I remember one thing we were doing when we were in the university. When we were coming into an exam hall, I would lay hands on me and say, woe is me if I go to Egypt to seek for help. Woe is me if I go to Egypt to seek for help. And one time I went into one exam that was quite difficult, and it was taking a lot of formula. I said to myself, you see how I will have a carryover? Hey, I had written this formula, but I was not sure. And once you put all the parameters and the formula is not correct, you will fail it. Hi. And I saw one of our lecturers, a professor, the man, you don't try him. We fear him. I raised my hand, he came. I said, sir, I have written this thing. Is this a raised to power 2 or power 3? The thing has just gone. The man said, what? What did you just say? I said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. He walked away. You can't believe what happened. So then my pen has gone to my left hand. Remember, I don't write left. I was confused, sweating in that hall. Woe is me if I go to Egypt to seek for help. If I look around Egypt, back Egypt, those people could help me, but I put a woe on me. Don't go back to dead things. You don't believe what happens. The man came back again and tapped me. He said, so you have courage to ask me something in the exam hall? I said, I'm sorry, I'm not asking you again. Oh yeah, Olodo put it 3. Praise the Lord. And that was how I wrote that in, and I passed very well. Why? I refuse to ask anybody. I would rather ask the teacher or fail the exam and move away. Now, going back to sin shouldn't be option. An eagle is a high flyer. Anything you want to do, stick to this God. God will prosper you. Those who are sticking with devil, they stick with devil big time. And devil is what? Inspiring them. Prepare for training. Eagle does not allow comfort zone. So what the eagle does is that it throws the chick down and goes to grab them. That's how they fly. They learn how to fly. So they stagger, but they later fly. Now, what is vitality? Now, coming down to, as a leader, all the time, you must rejig. You must look at what you are doing. You must take assessment. You must ask yourself, take inventory of how far. Eagle does that. That's why eagle goes to take out the old feathers so that it will continue to fly high. Number three is visionary. This is a generation that must think critically, think innovative, see the bigger picture. If not, you'll be left behind. In everything you do, see the bigger pictures. Think critically. When I say think critically, what I mean, you need to do in a research project, they call it literature review. You review others. What are people doing? So with that, you'll be able to know what are. So at times, you think of what you are doing. Think critically. In any zone where you are, even if as a pastor, as a campus pastor, move around and see what others are doing. Be challenged. Be challenged. So see the bigger picture. Think of where you will be, how you will position your leadership at so time. If you can't see well, when you talk about vision, some people, you can run on another person's vision. One time, I was going from Newi to our mama. So I just come down, I needed to go and see my child, my son. The vehicle there, I didn't know the headlamp was not working well. So I moved, and I moved into the evening. It was rain, so the night fell very fast. So I found out the headlamp was not on. I couldn't have any vision. I couldn't see anything. So as an experienced driver, I said, what am I going to do now? I'm going to wait for a vehicle that has a good lamp, and I will follow that vehicle bumper to bumper. So that was exactly what I did. I ran on another person's vision. Immediately that vehicle, a white Venza, I followed him. I was following him. The only thing I was praying, God, when I get to 33, let me know. Because the man was heading to Owerri. Are you getting it? So by the time I moved my eye from him to know whether it is 33, the man moved, I couldn't see again. I started crawling until I get it. So you can run on another person's vision. You must not be a GO. There is a vision in Watchman. Run on that vision. You can borrow vision. You can come as a collabo. You can come as a team and run as a vision. So most times when we talk about vision, people think I must have my own vision. Someone's vision can carry you there. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into what? Reality. So don't see the world or look at the world differently with creativity mindset. God have mercy. Create a world that you want to meet in future. Yes, you need to create a world. There's what is called existential flexibility. That's how some companies have lost out. People like Nokia, they lost out. They thought they were leading. They thought they were here. They were up there. But existential flexibility is what tells you, oh boy, look well, others have moved. There's so much disruption in the industry. Don't remain there. You know, most times when I hear people say the way of the watchman, this is not the way of the watchman, I tend to disagree with them. Because what happened in the 80s and what happened in the 90s and what is happening now is not the same. You need to use your phone to do what? Do some evangelism. Because the people you are looking for, you find them on the phone. Are you getting it? So you need to innovate. You need to change your mindset. And that's the way I operate. That's the way I think. And I believe I am not. So existential flexibility here is what makes you to now kind of what is called benchmarking. Benchmark your process. Benchmark what you are doing against others that are competing with you. Okay, let me move. Collaboration. Okay, collaboration here. You need to focus on your strength and build a synergy to help make up your weakness. To help make up your weakness. Now, what it means here, our pastor, one of the nights, was talking to us. You know, when people like him are talking, I come with my note. He said, active accounts are accountable. So for you to be in a collaboration that we take you high, you need to come with honesty. So there must be accountability. So you have to seek a handshake across the world. The world has become a global village, and it is what? Fast integrating, coming together every day, the world. So you must look out for someone who is doing what you want to do in South Africa, in Kenya. So think out of the box, you know. Stop sitting there. You can find them instead of shutting your time. So your strength, you can now, what is called synergy. You can synergize with someone who has strength. Maybe you have a marketing strength. I was talking to my staff. I said to them, two of you are going to go for marketing. You are beautiful. That is your strength. Your weakness is that you don't understand the product because it's technology. So this person, oh, you're a guy, they can't open door for you, but this lady can open door. You know why I'm matching two of you? When the security man sees this lady coming, he says, lady, come in. It's a strategy. Eh? Her strength is to move you into that place. Then your strength is to augment her by discussing the technology. You must think very fast. Where do I have strength? What is my weakness? Don't continue to work on your weakness. That's a waste of time. Get somebody to augment, and then you fly. Okay. Number 5, tech literacy. Number 5, tech literacy. See, this is the word. One time I told my dad that you need to learn computer. He said, what am I doing with it? Many years back. I said, okay, don't worry. It will meet you, and it will take you out. But today, the man uses Android phone very well, uses computer very well. One time he called my younger sister and said, I'm going to Kenya to buy a computer. Many years back, and learned how to send email and do this because they go analog. You must transform. Even if you transform 20%, you can't be like the generation of Industrial Revolution 5.0. Children that are born there. I cannot match my child. I cannot match my daughter, who is 6, on how to fiddle with this handset. I have this handset. Most times I hear Nokia say to me, upgrade. I ask myself, what are they upgrading to? I haven't even used up to 20% of what the thing that is embedded in this phone. And it is true. But she has time to maneuver all those things and fiddle with it. But you continue to go for tech literacy. And the way it's going today is going too fast. In 2001, I was an engineer. My job is to do networking and come to a company. I was working for some industry banks. Before I started trading, I was a true engineer. But today, those Windows NT we are using today are obsolete. In fact, just this other day, Microsoft just jettisoned this, what do you call it, Explorer. Eh? And now they brought what? Let me know if you are there. They brought in Edge. So things are going very fast. So if it was Explorer that moving very fast, you must catch up with all these things. So you continue to learn. Don't say, oh, there are people that will do it. Try and learn. What I do is that anyone I cannot do, I buy someone's time to do it for me, but I will continue to learn the much I can. Any given opportunity you have, go for training. Go for training online. When there was, that time they had a sit at home. It helped me so much. Why? Because I was able to expose myself to a lot of learning, to marketing, all kinds of things. I keep learning. Everybody will say, what are you doing with all these things? I need it. I don't only need it for my business. I need it for the ministry. Are you understanding me now? So whatever you are doing, you are thinking not only for yourself, but for others. That what makes you a leader. Now, you have to, this is a time of digital transformation, and the world is moving so fast. You need to what? You need to reskill, upskill. Do you understand? Don't stay where you are. You need to. I was talking to somebody who said, hey, I studied zoology. I said, look, you are obsolete. You are not in this generation. Either you are in medicals or you are in tech. And if you are in tech, don't dwell on what happened last year. Technology has so moved. You need to move. So I'm rounding up now. Time management. So many people waste time. The key is not spending time, but investing time. Anything you are doing, ask yourself, am I just wasting time? Am I just spending time? Or am I investing time? No time wasted can be recovered. Our pastor has told us today. This great leader called Nnamdi Unachukwu, late Dr. Nnamdi Unachukwu, said, give me back my youth, and I will pay anything for it. Today, you people answer young adults. I found out that I didn't fit into the bracket. That's why I told myself, oh boy, you're now an old man. No? You are classified as an old man. I had my daddy here saying he's an old man. For where? He's not an old man. The only thing, the time is moving so fast. Before you blink, you are in another, because a lot of activities, it's a jet age. So things are moving so fast. Anything you don't do today, you don't do tomorrow, forget it. You won't even have time to go back to do it. So what do? Invest your time. I sleep averagely 4 hours every day. And I must wake myself. Then I woke myself up. I was so tired. I told my wife, after vigil, I had to do an assignment that has deadline. I was doing it. When I could not continue, I went and took coffee, and I drank coffee to continue. And at the point I slept, it was time for my family to pray. And we must pray together. So, they were waking me and say, I just had 3.5 hours. Can't I sleep more? But I asked myself, did anybody ask you to do those things? Time management. So one thing about time management, you must plan your year. Every year, I plan myself 5 years. I plan my month. Everybody working with me know that I plan my day. If I put my hands in my pocket, you will see my to-do list. That's the first thing I do in the morning. On my table, once I finish my shower, I put my to-do list. Anyone that is not on that list, don't count me out. So I can't stop and be greeting you and be wasting time. No, I don't do it. So the only time I will sit and you talk and you overshot your time and I will keep talking, sitting is because of God. Only in the house of God. Any other place I'll walk away because I have another engagement. So think of how to manage your time. Okay, the last slide. Oh, I'm on terrible speed today. I'm doing it. Okay, I have a few seconds to go. Now, here, take responsibility. Take responsibility. You must try to understand the cause and consequences. If you fail in your leadership, there is a cause. There is a consequence. So, what do? Tell yourself, I can fail. My mantra, whenever I'm talking to anybody, both in my office, beyond my office, church, is that we can't afford to fail. If anybody is coming from, anybody that is related to me will know that it's a common language. We cannot just afford to fail because I know the consequences of failure. So, you must think of how to stop blaming others when you fail. Get up from where you are and move. There's one thing I will drop before I go. That is assumption. I assume that this business will do well. I assume that brethren will come. I assume. Don't live your life on assumption. I burnt on my fingers doing business because of assumption. So I hate that word, assumption. Anything you bring to me, I must analyze it and give it what is called critical analysis. Now, how do I analyze? There's what is called, there are tools to analyze. When you want to analyze something that is intrinsic, you use the SWOT analysis. Something that is extrinsic, you use the pestle. And I'm going to define it so, you understand what I mean here. So, first of all, you want to use, what is concerning the micro factors, things that affect you. Because in competition, you must put on all these things in perspective in everything you do. So I'm running on red now, but I'm going to give you that. SWOT analysis here. It's just an acronym. X stands for strength. W stands for weakness. O stands for opportunity. T stands for threat. So for threat. So in anything you are doing, in any business you are engaging, both in your academics and whatever you think of your strength. Think of your weakness. And I say you can augment your weakness by, extending a handshake. And then opportunities. There are always opportunity in everything you do. So think that opportunity, then think the threat. That will help you. So if I invest in this thing, how much am I going to lose? Can I bear it? Some people met me now and say, I am a forex trader. Think of the opportunity. There's opportunity there. Now think of the threat. It can take you out and clean you out. Can you bear that? Now, when you talk about the external factors, things that affect us, like in Nigeria, we have you use the pestle, political whatever is coming now, election is coming, dollar is jumping up. Are you to keep your money in naira? Are you changing your money in dollars? Because as long as the politicians are doing money politics, they will continue to buy the hard currency, and that will also stifle the businessmen. Now, economics is, look at the indices in Nigeria. Are they telling well? They are all on red. Nigeria is paying every day, using everything we earn, we are using it to pay back for what we did not invest. Rather, what they use for recurrent expenditure, they borrow for recurrent expenditure, and all the income. So the economies of Nigeria, whether you like it or not, is going down every day. Social, okay, look at it. Technology, legal, environmental. Okay, let me conclude. Please, you can get this slide. Time waits for nobody. The earnest expectation of the creation waits for the manifestation of the sons of God. You need to wake up your mind. Think of a leader you want to be. I'll give you a short story about myself. when I was getting admission. When I gained admission to study pharmacy, one day I walked up to the faculty officer. I said, I don't want to study pharmacy anymore. I want to study electronics engineering because I read in the magazine something about the jet age. I asked him, what is the jet age? That was in 1992. He said, jet age, 1992 to 1993. He's talking about the time, the era of computer. I said, oh, that's where I want to be. And I said, backload me. I don't want to continue. The man said, are you crazy? You know where you are? I said, I don't want. I want to go to engineering. And when I got to engineering, I said, oh, the only place we have space is civil engineering or agric engineering. I said, no. It is electronics engineering or no other thing. You see, until you make up your mind, this is what I want, you stick to it and be stubborn about it. Because it's your decision, take responsibility for your decision. And I graduated as an electronic engineer. That's the summary. Other ones are stories. So when I wanted to serve in Lagos because already I had set up a business as a what? As a copper. The money I saved while I was in school was what I invested as a copper to set up what is called Cyber Cafe. But I owned 2 stores at Mandela's Market where they were selling shoes. I said, no, I can't continue this business. It doesn't have future. I want a business that will announce me, not announcing my father. So when you want to explain to me, you say, Nnamdi, the son of Felix. No, I want you to say, Felix, the father of Nnamdi. So I moved to technology. Are you understanding me? I moved to technology, and from there, that was the thing that announced us, and that was the thing that is still announcing us. So whatever you make up your mind as a young leader here, as a young adult, just know there is no time. So you need to move against the time, and you can't stop the pace at which this digital revolution is going, this digital transformation. You can't hold it. You need to match it. As a church, if we don't meet it, if we can't match it, they will take us out. As a church. So we must wake up our ideas. Some of you that are into coding, find a way to advise the church. Be ready. Prepare yourself because big things are going to come our way. The earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. Thank you.